I just want people to know that they are welcome to be there. And it is a very like friendly, welcoming place, and they want you to be there. And people open the doors and greet you and smile and say, hello, come on in. So I just want people to know, like, there's no like sides of business, that it really is for everyone to participate in. And some people, I mean, I know people who were like scared to go, and now they're like they're on the stage, they're on panels, they're on the stage, they're like running the tours. Like, you can really like your business and your place in the design world can grow from going to market.
All right. I'm Rebecca Hay, and I've built a successful interior design business by trial and error, podcasts, online courses, and so many freaking books. Over the last decade, I've grown from an insecure student to having false starts to careers, and now I'm finally in the place where I want to be. Throughout my journey, it's been pretty obvious that I'm passionate about business and helping other entrepreneurs do the same. Each week, I'll share tangible takeaways from my own experience and the experiences of other badass women to help you build your confidence and change your business.
Hey, it's Rebecca, and you are listening to Resilient by Design. Today, I'm interviewing the founder of the Cool Girls Guides. Her name is Marisa Wilson. Marisa creates guides for industry conferences such as High Point Market, that's where it started, Round Top, Texas, and more to come. I'm very excited about this conversation because I met Marisa, we'll share inside the episode, not in the industry, through something completely unrelated to the interior design industry. It just so happened that we both are in this world. And so we got to chatting, I started to learn what she does, and then I contributed this year as an expert for providing tips on High Point Market in her guide. And well, High Point Market is around the corner. And I know many of you are considering going, if not this year, maybe in the future. And some of you are already planning to go. So you're going to love this episode. This is such a juicy episode. You are going to need a pen and paper. Marisa in this episode talks about the difference between Round Top and High Point, because will have just been, as of this air date, she will just have been to Round Top, where she is launching Cool Girls Guide there, and then High Point Market. And we talk a little bit about the difference, which is kind of fun because I've always wanted to go to Round Top. I've never been. And she shares specifically showrooms you want to go to for lunch, the parties you need to be at, tips on market, what's happening this fall. Like, guys, it's a good one. She is also the principal of Marisa Wilson Interior Design, which is a firm known for creating vintage-inspired, approachable, and livable spaces. She's the creator, as I mentioned, of the Cool Girls Guide series, a go-to resource for designers seeking insider tips, chic inspiration, and curated experiences at High Point Market and Round Top Antique Market. Enjoy my conversation with Marisa. Welcome to Resilient by Design, Marisa. I'm so excited to have you here today.
Thank you for including me.
I cannot wait to have this conversation. It's funny. I thought we'd already had a conversation on the podcast, and it's because we did that Instagram live together.
Yes, I know. I thought the same thing. And I was just remembering our like awesome conversation. I was like live at High Point Market, and we did the live, and
yeah,
so fun. Yeah.
You were at High Point. I was in Toronto, and we did an Instagram live, and you were there a couple days early, and we were chatting about it. It was this spring. So here we are now approaching fall High Point Market. And now you get to talk about it on the podcast. I'm so excited because we connected, actually, it's so funny, not through the industry at all. We connected through like a coaching program that we're both a part of that is like not industry specific. And we got to meet each other in Whistler. Those who've been following my journey, you know that I went to a retreat in Whistler back in February, and it was amazing. And you were there.
So amazing.
So we got to meet in person.
Yes.
But it's so like coincidental that there's so much synergy here. So I'm very excited to interview you today and for all of my listeners to hear what you have for them. Before that, though, before we dive into all the juicy questions, can you just briefly introduce yourself to my audience?
Yes. So I am a Charlotte-based USA interior designer. I have had my business, I think, 11 years now. And it was a journey because I had it on the side. I had a whole other career in nonprofit fundraising, and I started my business in the middle of that. So I've had the business for about 11 years, and I've been doing the Cool Girls Guide to High Point Market for 7 years now. And now I'm launching another one. So I'm branching out into Round Top, the antique market. So I'm creating the inaugural guide for that as we speak. So I have a lot of different things going on, but it's all fun and exciting and creative. So I'm happy to be able to do this full time now for a little over 3 years.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're also creating a guide for Round Top, which is perfect because I've always wanted to go. I have never been. And now I'll just wait until you have your guide out. It'll make it so much easier.
A lot of people have said that it's like kind of on their bucket list or, wish list of like where to go. And it was mine for a long time too. And it's interesting because they've shifted the schedule a little bit. It's around the same time as High Point, but it used to be like exactly at the same time. So like dealers had to choose, are they going to go to Round Top? Are they going to go to High Point? And then like I couldn't go because I was, representing my guide and doing the designer thing at High Point. So just, I don't know, a handful of years ago, they finally like shifted it just enough that like you could really do both. So I've, been a handful of times and it's incredible. If you love anything, like antiques, vintage, Texas, I mean, it's like, it definitely has its own flair. But I'm also like really, really discovering how different the markets are. Just from even, I mean, there aren't like corporate showrooms. They're very well established venues, but it's totally different than like the manufacturing brands that we see at High Point.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Like, just let's take a minute. I know we want to talk about High Point because it's coming up, but I'm super curious, especially for those listening who are thinking, some people listening are like, what is Round Top? So maybe can you just tell us what Round Top is? Because there is a place in Texas. Is it a town that's called Round Top and that's what hosts the market?
Yes, it's a tiny town that has like a population of like 90 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that way it is kind of similar to High Point because High Point is a very small town in North Carolina that its biggest thing is hosting the market twice a year. And people come from all over the world. And same thing for Round Top. It's just a really famous, well-established. I should know this at this point because I've been doing the research, but I can't remember when it was founded. But
that's okay. I don't think no offense to Round Top. We don't really care when it was founded.
Yeah, but I don't really care. It's just been a really long time and it's grown, tremendously. And it's really a place where you can source any European, antiques and American. And it's grown. I mean, it's like a cultural phenomenon at this point. It's also just, like fashion and where to be and who to see and like all these really exciting things. A lot of celebrity designers go source there and have their favorite people, that they
really
source from there.
Okay. So obviously, here's the vision that I had of Round Top. And I can tell you, my vision comes from seeing people on Instagram.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's like literally all I have
to
work with. I love antiquing. I've been to the Brimfield Antique Market outside of Boston, Massachusetts with my sister. I helped her get some things there when she bought her house. Love it there. Aberfoyle Antique Market up here outside of Toronto. And so in my mind, from what the little glimpses I could see, I thought Round Top was just an antique market that popped up with antique dealers who, drive around the country and bring their antiques. It doesn't sound like that's what it is.
It's much bigger than that. So it's like, it's miles of, it's a rural, like a 1 lane, like a 2 lane, I guess, road, rural. And there's like these venues. It's like mini antique mall sort of, but some of them are more temporary than that. They're, tents.
That's what I picture. I picture tents. That's what Brimfield is. I don't know if you've been to Brimfield, but Brimfield is basically,
on my list.
It's probably much, 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 much smaller, but it's like you're on a dirt road, someone's farm, basically, I think. Or maybe it's a townish thing. But it's like, it seems like it's a little town if I remember where we parked. It's muddy. was in the spring, and it's tents mostly, or like semi-permanent structures where people kind of roll in, they put all their goods out, and then they take everything away. Whereas High Point, but to your point, is buildings. Like it feels like you're in a city in a way. Like it's just a very different.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So it is kind of like that, but it's maybe bigger than I picture.
Yeah. I think it's I haven't been to the Brimfield one, but it's multiple fields. It's miles of space.
Right.
And you have to, have a car to drive between you. Like in High Point, you can really walk most things, and grab a shuttle to save your feet. But
yeah. Okay, so at Round Top, you need a car. This is turning into a Round Top versus High Point episode. Okay, sure, we'll go with it. When is Round Top this fall?
So it starts October 3rd, and it actually lasts a little longer than High Point as well. So it's a couple of weeks, and not everything is showing the whole time. So some of them kind of start, and it overlaps, and you got to pick which ones you want to go to. So
at the point of recording this, Round Top is probably over because this is coming out right before High Point. So it'll be interesting. We'll have to do an Instagram live, you and I.
Yeah.
Like around that time when High Point's happening, just to like hear about Round Top. I would love to. It'd be so interesting.
Okay, let's do it.
It'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I feel like that's enough about Round Top.
Yeah. We're good.
We're gonna deep dive. We'll do the Instagram live. Guys, if you're listening here and I didn't do it, just slide into my DMs and be like, Rebecca, you said you were gonna do an Instagram live with Marisa. I don't see it on your Instagram. Please do it. I want to hear the summary of Round Top. So we'll let the audience hold us accountable.
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect. Love it.
High Point Market. So you have this guide, and I think this is so freaking cool because I can tell you that when I went to High Point for the first time, I did go with a group, and I went with a group because I was so intimidated to go on my own. I didn't know what it was. I didn't know where to stay. I didn't know where to go when I would get there. Like, I didn't know anything. And also as a Canadian, I felt even more disadvantaged because I didn't even know the brands. Like, we don't have the same access up here. And so I went with a group. Even that was overwhelming. And so to have been able to have, and that was long before you started the Cool Girls Guide. This is like pre-pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to have a guide at your fingertips to help you navigate it would be such a game changer. So tell us a little bit about what the guide is.
Yeah, I mean, like exactly what you said is why I created it, because I hear it over and over again, and I had the same experience. When I went for the first time, I had I'm right here. I'm like, an hour and a half
you live
away.
there, basically.
Yeah, I basically live really, really close, and I still had no idea how to do anything when I got there. So, that's really where it came from. And I want to make it feel very doable and approachable for designers who are interested in coming. And so it's, there's a huge number of events that happen at Market. So I really spend a lot of time curating a calendar that is designer focused. It's through the designer lens. Like there's a lot of events that just don't apply to us, and you don't even need to bother looking at that. So I've cut that out. You still have to make some selections, but it's only on 2 pages. It's very easy to see what's happening when on what days, and the essential information like the time and whatever. And then I've also got, same thing, like Market, as we've established, is really big. It's like the whole town of, or the city, the downtown of High Point.
I say city. It's not like a city, guys, just to be clear. I say city because the buildings are large and big, and there's streets like a town, but buildings that are tall like in a city. It's kind of funny that way, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but there's like a lot of ground to cover. So I think there's over 2,000 showrooms or something. I mean, like, this is massive. So I also have like a top, 75 or so showrooms to start with that, like, you kind of can't go wrong if you're starting with these and you're coming in, especially if you're learning new brands. I mean, and everybody would be. Every time I go, there's new brand. Like, there's always something coming up. So, I have that, kind of narrowed down a bit about the showrooms to visit. And then I also layer in, places to eat or where to have happy hour, or just, transportation tips. There's like shuttles, and they're maybe the first time a little bit confusing of which ones to do. And And one of my favorite things is, bringing in advice from other designers like yourself.
I'm featured this year.
Right.
Very honored. Thank you so much for letting me share my tips.
Yes. But I'm always learning stuff too from other people. I mean, like everyone has a different perspective and experience there and different goals. And so, sometimes I'm like, oh, that was a good one. That was like a one I haven't heard yet. So I'm going to do that as well. So I like to, have a lot of pages of tips for people from other industry experts who have been to market many times and learned all the things. So in a nutshell, I guess that's it. It's about 30 pages.
30 pages.
It's available for free on my website and also on the High Point Market website. So, it's available.
I mean, that's amazing. It's amazing that you created this and you're like, I feel like there's an opportunity. Designers need this. I'm just going to do it. And now High Point Market themselves has posted it. So they're basically, they're vouching for you, saying this girl's legit. She knows her stuff. Here you go. This will help. What I like about it is some of the things that I struggle with, and actually tell me if this is sort of what helps, if you have this in it to help designers. One of the things I struggle with is, one, like you mentioned, events. There are so many events happening, and I find that if I'm not on the right email list, I don't know what's happening. And so I'll hear other designers being like, oh, are you going to the such and such a party? And I'm like, I don't think so. I don't know. I also get a lot of junk mail that I don't look at.
Yeah.
So maybe I got it and I don't see it. Right? I might be on the list. Do you talk about, do you include parties that are happening at different vendors or suppliers, or do you just cover the official events like in the, I don't know, what's called Market Square that High Point puts on?
I do everything. So if you send it to me, I'll consider it for the guide. So I can't put everything, but I comb through the calendar that's available on the High Point Market website, and that includes ones that are happening in showrooms because that are submitted, as well as their own programming. And then I have a lot of off-book things too that people send me. So sometimes they don't make the deadline or something through the website, or just got at this point some PR firms that send me things. So I've got a lot of things. It's a mix of what you could research, what's not going to be available to you. Yeah, it's kind of frustrating too. You have to keep an eye on Instagram or whatever, like you're saying, pay attention to the emails, and it's overwhelming. There's like a lot of information coming at you. So I try to present it as easy to consume as possible on the guide. And then if I hear about something cool that's going on that maybe I learned about after I already published, I'll throw it on Instagram. And also if people tag me with events that they're hosting, I'll repost it. So I think definitely follow Cool Girls Guide on Instagram and for kind of last minute updates about that kind of thing. But it happens to me too. And I'm always like, dang it, I wish I knew about that one. But
soon anyone who's throwing any kind of party that's worth going to, they're going to reach out to you because they'll be like, wow, we want to make sure she includes it.
That's what my hope is. So, yeah.
I think it's happening. It's already happening. Yeah. What I find overwhelming, I think High Point Market does a great job. They have a beautiful website, an incredible app that you can use. So anyone who here is listening and hasn't been, you can download an app on your phone. It has the maps of all the places. You can search vendors. And you can kind of create a favorites list and kind of a plan of the events you want to go to. The only problem with it is it has everything.
Right.
And so if you don't know what you're looking for, it's not you can't just it's not ChatGPT. You can't say to it, hey, I'm looking for lunch on Saturday at a showroom that will also have a panel around lunchtime so I can eat and be educated. Yeah. Boom.
Right.
That's your next level, by the way, Marisa.
Right. I know.
We're going to talk. We're going to create a custom AI bot. That's the thing these days, right? And then you have all the, anyhow, we'll talk.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I see that as your next iteration because that's how I feel. I'm like, hey, this is what I want. Or I'm like, who has live music? Because some places have live music, right? I remember going once and stumbling into a jazz trio. I was like, this is lovely.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you can forget you're there for a hot second. I remember there was a beautiful music outside of Market Square. I don't know if that's the same one you're talking about. I like grabbed something from the food truck. I was listening to the music. It was like a gorgeous day. And it was like, oh yeah, I'm like at market. I don't know. It was funny.
I mean, we could talk a little bit about the great things about market. One of my favorite things is that there's a lot of opportunity to be outdoors. I like, if anyone knows me, I love being in the outdoors. Like, just take me out of the city any day and I'm a happy girl. But there's the market square. You can walk. There's areas. Is it Hamilton Street? There's like different areas where you can walk, which feels like you're in a little town, like browsing the shops. It's not all about being in these dark showrooms, like the main building, because I find that to be kind of draining. It's like that overhead fluorescent lighting,
same.
hard, concrete floors. After a period of time, I'm like, I can't look at another couch. I need sunshine. That's my favorite. What's your favorite part of market?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. Like, I love seeing the people. There's some people that I only see at market, and so people are always going to be my favorite thing. But I also love finding those little spots that kind of feel like a little secret or something, which I'm happy to share with you.
Yes,
like,
please share.
Right, like I love like the patio at Four Hands, like the patios at Showplace, and especially like if you can get a spot during one of the concerts, then you've like made it. But yeah, if you like get a coffee or a cocktail and you go out and sit on the patio and like the view, like the roof, any party at the rooftop at Caracol is so fun because it's like you catch the sunset.
I did that last time. I'd never been there, and they had the most beautiful sunset. Like I was with a bunch of my Power of Process students, and we all connected and we went. And I'm like, what is this beautiful place? I've never been to this rooftop. It was so lovely.
Yeah, no, I love it up there, and they throw a good party too. So it's like they'll have music and things.
They have music.
Yeah,
great.
In the fall, depending on the temperature, like they might have like a fire pit kind of thing, going. So like that's really fun. Yeah, I love the events at market. So I'm like a school nerd, like 100%. So like I just like to learn and love that it's like really like a really high quality conference. While you're there too. So anything that you've got challenging going on in your business at the time, you can kind of prioritize those subjects, but they've got everything across the board. So
true. Tons of panels. I mean, I hosted a panel last year that was the designers who were on the panel were just so forthcoming and shared so much information, and it was so wonderful. Like the learning you can get firsthand from people at market in such a casual environment too. Yes, they have the main stage, right? So what do you maybe I don't know if we're recording this a little early, but is there anything really awesome happening on like the main stage? I remember last time when I was there, I went to see Bunny Williams talk, and I got a copy of her coffee table book, which was like amazing. It's this huge, thick coffee table book about her home in Connecticut and the gardens. I'm like, this is my dream. So that was amazing. Is there anything coming up on the main stage that you think it's worth people checking out?
Yes, the keynote this time is with the editor of the Architecture Digest. So, and they've just come out with a book. So that's going to be the big interview this time.
Okay.
So that's exciting. But they always have such good programming. And last time I celebrity stalked Jeremiah Brent while I was at market. He was one of the keynote speakers. And I made it a point to meet him afterwards. So I was like, all up in the line of like meeting him. And
you took a picture with him, didn't you? I feel like you posted it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, I manifested that like hardcore. I went after it with Jeremiah, and he was so lovely. So
love that. I love
that I did.
It is fun to also meet those celebrity designers that a lot of them are quite down to earth, and it's nice to have a conversation. I remember the first time I met Luann Nigara, who now I would consider, I wouldn't call her a friend necessarily, but a colleague who I've had interviews with her. We've had chats. But the first time I met her, I remember being so nervous because to me, like I've been listening to her podcast for a while, and you hear someone's voice, they're up on this pedestal just because of their visibility. And so I remember chatting with her being so nervous and it being like totally fine. And she remember her saying, I'm just a regular human being like everybody else.
Yeah, I really think it brings people down to earth a bit. I mean, you know, in a really great way, like, because you do have access to people that I don't think there's anywhere else you would get it. I mean, you know, these are like the titans in the industry, and they're at panels, they're at events, and sometimes in kind of smaller venues, and you have the opportunity to go talk to them afterward. I mean, after the event, and like shake their hand, get a photo, like really speak to them, ask them questions. So it's really interesting that you have like that accessibility to people.
Totally. We also, one of the neat opportunities, you could meet designers who have lines, who are launching product lines.
Mm-hmm.
So that's another opportunity. If you want to get proximity to celebrity designers, find out who is launching a product line with who. The last time I was there, two times ago when I was there were two product lines. One was Bria Hamill was doing one with, she did a few actually. And then the other one was Amber Interiors, and she did one with, was it Four Hands, I think?
Yeah.
And so I just happened to walk into their showroom when she was doing a presentation on how the whole product line came to be. And so I was like, oh, I'm going to listen to this. And like, she was, you know, as close as that light is to me, telling this whole story about how it came to be. And she was so casual, and then you could go up to her after and talk to her. And I thought, where else, like, what other industries do you have this opportunity to get in such proximity with these, like you said, titans of industry who are really making big moves, and like learn from them too?
Yeah.
So cool.
Like, I don't know what else. I mean, like, it's special.
I think most industries have conferences, but it's like they're on the big stage and all the other people the sheeple are down here. Right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Okay. So what else? We've talked about the events. We've talked about like not just parties, because we talked about parties, because that's important, because you want to make sure you find the good places to get a bite to eat, put your feet up and socialize, and listen to live music if you can find it.
Yes.
But then there's also the educational, right? The main stage, Architectural Digest, that's so cool. The panel talks, you know, there's lots of showrooms do panel conversations with podcast hosts. I know there's a few happening this time. I'm not doing one at the moment. If I do, it'll be a pop-up surprise. But what else? What else do you give designers in the guide beyond like the events and the parties? Because even if it was just that would probably be enough.
Yeah, that's there's always a great lineup. Well, there's like special things that happen, like Pink Out for Breast Cancer on the Sunday of market, which is near and dear to my heart as a breast cancer survivor. So I like to make sure everyone can, you know about that and participate. There's also, we haven't
What's
talked
a
about
Pink Out? Sorry, what is that?
Yeah, that just means wear pink. Wear pink that day, so that kind of everyone's wearing pink. Yeah.
Oh, so guys, if you're going to market on Sunday, wear something pink. I love that. Thank you. That's great. Support.
And then the like tours, you know, there's like options for tours, especially if you haven't been. I know there's a lot of newcomer ones. And not all of them require that, but some of the like longer half day and full day ones that you can sign up for, you need to be new to market. But there's also, they have hotspot tours. I've hosted one of those before. They're nice, kind of like bite size, where it's only a couple of hours, like 2 to 3 showrooms, and they have sort of different genres, if you will. Like if you're looking at lighting, or if you're looking at antiques, or you're looking for upholstery or something. So people are kind of the people hosting them, and some of them are the style spotters. Not all of them, but you can kind of get their input on some of their favorite showrooms. And that's been a way that I've learned about new places, and kind of, you're going with them, someone who uses them and sources there. And then someone typically from that company is also going to speak to you. Can you get a little bit more like behind the scenes and in depth with a showroom, instead of just like looking around?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
that's cool. I didn't know that existed. That's interesting.
Yeah. That's created by the High Point Market Authority. So they always leave from the point.
Yeah, that's smart that they do that, because there are people who come to market and maybe they don't have any connections with any suppliers. They don't even know where to start or where to go, because it is overwhelming. Like, how many square feet are there of showrooms?
It's like millions,
hundreds of thousands of square feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you won't see everything. That's what I try to tell everyone. There's no humanly possible way, unless you stay for 5 days, which I do not recommend, because you'll be so burnt out and
Yeah.
spent. I have run
Yeah.
into a few people at market and they're like, oh, I came on, I don't know, Thursday and I'm here till Wednesday, but I'm trying to change my flight so I can go home earlier.
Yeah.
Like,
Get me out of here.
Too much. I've heard that a few times from people and I'm like, yeah, like
Yeah.
I do maybe 2, max 3 nights in a hotel. That gives you like 1 full or 2 full days. And the cool thing is you can take a shuttle from the airport to market. So if you don't have transportation, you can take a shuttle to market. And then from market, most of the hotels have shuttles. So you can just take a shuttle to your hotel and it's free.
Yeah, no, they've really, really logistically set people up for success. Like there's a shuttle from Charlotte, there's a shuttle from, Raleigh and Greensboro, like all the airports in the area. And then, like you said, like certain hotels, even in Greensboro, I think maybe, have some shuttles coming in. And then around market, there's also a lot of shuttles. And one of my insider tips is to there's a, I'm going to say it on here so people have it, but it's also on their website and it's in the Cool Girls Guide. But there's like a go anywhere shuttle. So there's like the shuttles that are at market have routes. So they can't take you off the route. Like it's going to keep, and
like a little bus route. Like you see it, it says this is the route, hop on, hop off kind of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. For free. Those shuttles are free.
Yeah. But if you want to go somewhere that's a little bit farther out, that's not on that route, you can, I think anywhere within like 5 miles or something, there's a go anywhere shuttle. And so the phone number is 336-887-RIDE, which is 7433. Again, it's totally on the, you don't have to know that. It's on the website. It's in my guide. But put it in your phone before you go, because you never know when you're going to be like, also you have to wait for the timing of the buses, right? If you're at a party at 6 o'clock and you're like, I can't wait for it to come, I just need someone to come pick me up right now. You can call the Go Anywhere and tell them where you're located, and they'll send us like a smaller van.
I think I've seen those around market. I remember thinking like, ooh, how do I get on one of those?
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Go Anywhere, and it's like, it's you have to have it. It will come in handy at some point. Like you'll need it. So.
That's amazing to know. It's amazing. And it's funny hearing you say that. You're like, if it's 6 o'clock and you're like, I'm tired, and people are like, 6 o'clock? That's early.
Like day 3.
Let me tell you, 6 o'clock p.m. at High Point Market feels like midnight.
It does. It does.
And you're like, put me in my bed. At least that's how I always feel. Like, take me to my hotel.
Yes. Like it is very exciting, and like probably you overdo it a couple of the first days, and then you're like, yeah, I'm done. Like you might have thought you were going to go to the party on whatever night, and you're like, nope, I'm going home, and I'm just going to like zombie in my bed or something. Like,
yeah, well, you get to go home. The rest of us get to go to overpriced hotels.
Oh no, I go to the hotels. I stay at the hotel right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, very overpriced.
Yeah, I was telling someone the other day, they were like, oh, I want to go to, it was inside my community, inside Power of Process. We were having a chat, and the one designer was like, oh my God, but the hotels are so expensive at market. And I said, they're so expensive that when you look, it's actually, don't look. When you look at the rates the day after you leave, like the day after market or for the weekend after market, they're less than half. Yeah. Like a hotel that maybe is $100 a night, not even, is like $354 during market.
Yeah.
And for my Canadians,
can we say
USD.
surge
pricing in effect.
Surge pricing.
Also, something else we were talking about in our Zoom call the other day, surge pricing. You can take an Uber. So you don't, if you don't want to take the shuttle to the airport and you don't have a car, you can take Ubers, but there's surge pricing in effect at 6 o'clock from like 5 till 7, because that is basically when everyone wants to leave market, and you're paying like triple the price it costs for you to take that same Uber in the morning. So just be prepared, because I've done that, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it was how much? $55, $60 to get back this morning. It was $15.
Right.
Like big difference.
Big difference. And there are, a lot of people come in and drive for that, but it's still pretty competitive. Like there's, still maybe a little bit of a wait to
and you have to wait to get one. Yeah. Because everyone's leaving at the same time. Nobody wants to get out, wait for the last shuttle, and we're all tired and our feet are sore. The market's really fun.
The market's so fun. you should definitely go.
You should definitely go. Just wear comfortable shoes and sit down a lot.
That's the thing. You got to know this stuff before you go. I mean, like, like we, one of the questions I always ask my designers is about like your physical and mental health while you're there, because you just don't know what you're getting into. I mean, you are walking miles and miles all day. So like shoes are critical. It's always, a number one tip, but also just like layers, like you're not going to be popping back to your hotel. Like you're going and then you're staying all day and then you're going back at the end of the day. So you have to have everything with you. You've got like a big bag, strategize on your bag. Like what you're doing a crossbody, you're doing a tote. They get very heavy by the end of the day, all of it. Are you bringing like shoes to change into for the party that night? Are you bring, like any of that kind of stuff you have to think through, but also just like basics, right? Like hydrating and not drinking too much and sleeping, trying to sleep well and stuff that like, but you've got to really like be intentional about it to be able to last however long you're planning to be there.
Yeah. And I'll just add the mental portion to that. I find market can be very draining for me because there's a lot of peopling, and I'm not used to being on my feet for 8 hours plus talking to people all the time. And so I've found that for me, what really helps is like just taking a beat by myself, like separating myself from the group, going and getting something from a food truck, having a drink in another showroom where there's nobody I know, right? Putting my feet up, sitting outside. And it's okay to do that. And I also want to say, like, it's okay if you're feeling tired, because I know a lot of us have FOMO. It's like, oh, but everyone's going to that party.
Yes.
And Marisa and Rebecca talked about all the parties. Like, I can't miss the party. If you are tired, go back to your hotel and go to bed. Yeah. Honestly, nothing crazy happens at these parties. It's not like you go to them and you think it's going to be like this. Like, it's just people hanging out. It's lovely. But if you're not in that space, don't force yourself to do it. I mean, I've done that too many times to say, I finally learned, like, if I'm really tired and I know I've got another day or two at market, like, I'm just going to go. I mean, if I didn't rest enough during the day and take breaks, then I'm going to go back to the hotel. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to just zonk out, because that's what happens, and sleep, and then start again tomorrow. Because otherwise I find that with every cumulative day, I'm dragging my ass a little bit more.
Yeah. Well, and I think like you have to have the mentality, because you cannot see it all and do it all. You just have to have the mentality, I think, that like what you need to see and experience will happen for you, and not worry about that, anything that you missed, because if you were meant to be there, you would have been there. So you have to like kind of, just like really honor yourself and know what you want to do.
Look at you, your inner Hina Khan.
Oh my God, it's rubbed off on me.
I love it. It's true. You need to trust that everything is happening for you. The universe has your back. And if it's meant for you, it will be. If it's not meant for you, it won't be. Like, you have to embrace the, what would you say? It's like embracing giving up control.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like you can just push it to the limit, really, in that kind of environment. So
totally. I love that. Well, I'm excited. This market is going to be good and exciting. Is there anything else that we want to like a little like nibble, give our designers as a sneak peek that's coming, that those who are going should get excited for this market? I know things are still getting published, so it's kind of recording this. Not everything has been released. If not, they'll just have to go get the Cool Girls Guide.
Well, everybody needs the Cool Girls Guide for sure. I was just going to mention a couple of other places that have great events. I don't know what all of them are yet, but like you can always count on, like, Universal has great education events. You mentioned Luann Nigara. Like, I'll go to anything she's doing. She's like, that is awesome. Like some serious content. I have my friend Erica Sarit, also like so great at, all of her events are wonderful. There's the DAA Mixer and Awards, so diversity. They have a good, like, I love that initiative, and they pick really great companies and people to honor that are involved with that. And then the Cheryl party is always like the kickoff party that you have to go to on the Friday night. So they're celebrating their 80th anniversary this time. So
I don't think I've been there ever on a Friday. So what is this party?
They just have like great DJ, great food, great vibe. Everybody goes. It's like the big, there's not a lot competing that night. Like Saturday, there's a million things. Sunday, there's a million things. But Friday night, there's not usually as many. And like, they just really throw a great party. So, I always recommend that one. And then, well, that same night, actually, Woodbridge is hosting a game night, which is kind of fun, and that's a little bit of a different spin. So they have they're like, you love games, we love game tables, let's do this. So like, I think that one's gonna be pretty fun.
That actually sounds super cool.
Yeah. So I
hope everyone like hangs out playing board games.
I know. Yeah.
So cool.
So fun.
You have to report back. Let us know.
Yes, we'll have to do a recap again.
Totally. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
And then food. I mean, food is always the one that you have to remember to make sure you're eating at market, because you can get really tired, especially if you're having some drinks. And my tip is always like, don't start drinking early, because you're gonna peak and you're gonna be so tired. If you drink alcohol, I would hold off till later on in the day.
And it's very available everywhere you turn.
Yes.
So it's easy to like just be like, oh sure.
Oh, the mimosa one?
Yeah. Oh yeah, because it's so fun. And
it's like feels like you're on vacation, and then you gotta like meet a rep and talk about a project. Right. You're like, oh.
Exactly. Yes. So, and then like you said, the food thing, it's like there's like a lot of nibbles. So you got to make sure you've actually like eaten the right quantity also, like at a certain point, like just, like
I have a question actually. This came up in my call the other day. Perfect timing. One of the designers who hasn't been to market in a few years said it used to be, and I disagreed with her, but I'm curious your take. She said it used to be that you couldn't go to a supplier for lunch unless you did business with them or had like an appointment. I said, I don't think so. I think you can kind of go and have, if someone has a lunch or breakfast, you can kind of go and eat. What's your take on that?
It's there are some that are more stickler than others. So you kind of have to get a feel for, like, some of them do want you to have an account, but they might, you can still schedule an appointment or have an appointment after lunch after you've done it. Because it's for them, for the people that they work with, and
it's
to
like
get
customer
new business.
appreciation,
right,
but also to get new business. Yeah,
exactly. It's to get new business. So I mean, I think don't be deterred, but some might have a more friendly attitude about you being there. Like one person that currying company comes to mind. So welcoming, so generous, so and they have great coffee too. That's another hot tip.
Ooh,
I always go they have a barista making like delicious lattes. So I go get a coffee and then start out there. But so yes and no. So it's sort of like, it's not necessarily, I haven't been to every single showroom, every lunch, but there's a mix of attitude, I think, from some of the showrooms about whether or not it's just like a free for all, or they kind of care, if you're buying from them. So you just have to feel it out and maybe, not go again next time if you kind of felt not in the right place. Yeah.
Also, not just so everybody knows, not every showroom has lunch.
Right. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and not every showroom, even if they have lunch one day, is going to have lunch every day.
Yeah.
Right.
That's one of the things I try to highlight is, if people, because sometimes people will post it with the events, like that we've got free lunch and whatever. If they're posting it, they want you to come. So I try to highlight the places that are saying they've got lunch, not necessarily the places that I know have lunch, because of what you're saying. Like, you can, so people who are really open to, like, for everybody. So
yeah. One place I love to go for breakfast, because I don't really know that many places, to be honest, is Universal. They're pretty welcoming. You do need to check in and all of that. Yeah. They have a barista, but it ends at 10 a.m. And if you wait, if you're like, oh, there's a line, I'll go later. No, it's closed. But they usually have a breakfast and they're welcoming. Lunch, I never know where to go. So if you are sharing in your guide for people this time around, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. I have some like that designers have recommended that I know have lunch, the places that are saying that they have lunch.
Yeah.
If you ever get in a bind, there are like the food trucks and there's other different little cafes and places. So like you're not gonna not be able to eat. You might not just be able to score like the free lunch, which is fine because someone planted in my head when I first went like, you don't know what you're doing basically if you're buying food,
you pay for food. Yeah.
And it made me feel like a loser if I ended up like buying something from the food trucks or whatever. Sometimes you just want something different than like you want to choose what you're eating and not like have it, just whatever somebody is catering. So don't feel like a loser.
And not all the lunches, to tell you the truth, not all the lunches at all the showrooms are created equally. They're not all what you want. Sometimes you go and you're like, oh, I really don't want roast beef. Like, that's not what I feel like. And that it's very limited. So the food trucks are amazing. I end up buying stuff at the food trucks. They're pretty good. There's like a taco truck. There's all these different trucks. And I'll say, if you're like me and you like to be in the outdoors, the great thing about the food truck is you can get your food and you can sit down at a table outside and get some sun on your face and some fresh air and a break from the showrooms and all the people. And so I enjoy going to the food trucks.
Yeah.
But you have to pay. So,
Hooker is another one that has great lunch. Hooker.
Okay. Hooker. Yeah. Hooker Furniture has great lunch.
Show place.
I don't know if have I been there for lunch? I don't think so. Okay, I'm going to have to re-listen to this the next time I go to market. Yeah. Although, who knows, it might change. We'll just have you back every time.
That's true.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this has been super informative. I know the designers who are listening right now who are going to market are probably feverishly taking notes. If not, they're going to re-listen to this. Everybody needs to go get the Cool Girls Guide because there's even more information in there, plus great tips. Before we get into where they can find it, do you have a last nugget of wisdom for our designers today?
Yes. So I like to really put out a PSA that market really is for everybody in the industry. So I feel like sometimes I've heard, I'm intimidated. I don't want to go. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I don't think my business qualifies or something like that. And I just want people to know that they are welcome to be there. And it is a very friendly, welcoming place, and they want you to be there. And people open the doors and greet you and smile and say, hello, come on in. So I just want people to know, there's no sides of business, that it really is for everyone to participate in. And some people, I know people who were scared to go, and now they're they're on the stage, they're on panels, they're on the stage, they're running the tours. You can really your business and your place in the design world can grow from going to market.
Yeah.
So I like to I will personally invite you to come and reach out to me, and I will help you, get over some of the fears about going to market, because I just want everyone to know that they really truly are welcome. So that's what
I love that message. Yeah, it is intimidating, 100%. So thank you for saying that. I love that. I love that, guys. You're always welcome. Marisa will personally tour you around.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Send me a DM.
You're going to be flooded with DMs. It's my first time. Can we hang out? I heard you in Rebecca's podcast.
And then I'm going to be like, download this. Download the guide.
Yeah, just get my guide.
And actually, also
leading groups. You could do a group tour or something.
I thought about that.
Yeah.
Look for this too. So the places that I point out. So I've got, in the guide, you'll find a map that I said, I've curated some showrooms for people. And if it's on there, then in the showroom, you'll see something that's featured in the Cool Girls Guide, and you can scan the guide from that. But it also helps you're in a really good place because it's Cool Girls.
Because it's handpicked by you.
Handpicked, yes. So
that's a lot of work to do all of that. Wow. That's amazing.
It is.
I love it. Wow. Designers, you are so freaking lucky that this has been created for you. Okay, where can everyone go right now? The people who are listening, if they're I need my hands on this guide, where do they go?
So it's on my website, and it's marisawilsoninteriors.com, also highpointmarketguide.com. It goes to the same place. And it's also available at highpointmarket.org. So on their website, a couple different places. And then also, if you want to find it on Instagram, it's at Cool Girls Guide HPMKT for High Point Market. I always link it there so you can download it there. So I just like it's everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So any of those places they can go. And then if they want to follow you on Instagram, because you said you're posting things as they come up, where is that?
Yes, the Cool Girls Guide HPMKT is the best one to follow and get any of the last minute things. And I'll be posting about Round Top there too if people are curious. So
I am. I'm so excited. We're going to do this again next year, but it'll just be for Round Top. I'm so excited. And I want to go. So maybe next year is my year. Maybe I skip High Point and I go to Round Top. I don't know. We'll see.
Do it. Okay, I'll meet you there.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for joining me today. This has been such a great episode. I can't wait for everyone to listen to this.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Guys, that was such a juicy episode. I didn't realize we would be sharing like concrete, specific tips and resources. The resources that she has in that guide are amazing. Go get your guide. It is free. You could just look her up on Instagram, the Cool Girls Guides. She's there. And honestly, you are going to find it so supremely helpful. I think that one of the hardest parts about Market is that even though you have that app that I mentioned, is that there's an overwhelming amount of possibility. Not only is there an overwhelming amount of showrooms to go to, and some of them are very large and they're tiring, and sometimes you get stuck with a rep who takes like an hour walking you through, and you're like, I don't want to spend an hour here. But it can be overwhelming knowing, where do I get my food? Where are the cool events happening? Like, she has you covered. And so I think there's such a great place in the market for this. Anyhow, go get your guide. Even if you're not going this year, I think it'll get you inspired to go in the spring. And thank you to Marisa for being my guest today. Go give her a follow and share some love. And maybe she'll give you a little tour at High Point. All right. That's it. I'll see you soon.